Hey, and thank you for joining us on this edition of CPSB-TV's Teen Talk, a one-on-one interview for teens by teens. I'm Lavontai, and I'm thankful to be talking to a local celebrity who's been the face of morning TV in Southwest Louisiana for over 25 years, a person I've grown up watching myself. Our special guest is KPLC-TV's John Bridges.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your experience with KPLC over the years and what you most enjoy about your job.
I think the best part of my job is getting to meet people each day, to go out and do stories on folks. I get to tell their stories and present them in a way that people can appreciate it. I like to stay behind the scenes, believe it or not. Being an anchor on TV, it doesn't seem that way, but I love to tell other people's stories and learn about what they do. I've always been the type of guy that when I drive by an old abandoned building, I want to know what that building held at one time, or what people were inside and things like that. There's a story for everything. Everybody has a story, and I love to tell those stories.
How has TV and news changed over the years since you first started?
Man, it's scary how fast it's changed. I would have
Technology,
never,
huh?
yeah, technology. I would have never have believed that we would be where we are today. I guess the only way to put it is when I first started in television in 1992, we had typewriters.
Oh, yeah.
With paper scripts. We had tape that we recorded everything on. It was these huge 3/4-inch videotapes.
Oh, yeah.
The cameras were, the size of this lamp. The recorders that you had to carry with the cameras were this big. Now, other people carried that.
Bulky stuff.
It really was. Now, I mean, you've got a cell phone you
Just
can
carry it in your
record on.
pocket, yep.
Sure. The technology of if we wanted a national news story, we'd have to call up NBC and they would feed it via satellite down to us, and we had to record that feed and now we just drag and drop.
And it actually feeds into our next question a little bit, saying what specific advanced technology have been considered helpful for you today in comparison from when you first started?
I think the cameras and video has helped out tremendously because now you can instantly get video from anywhere where there's a signal, a cell phone signal. And so we're able to put it on faster, we're able to be more communicative, and it's just an easier way to put stuff on. Yeah.
So with all this and technology, you care to walk us through a day of your work life?
Sure. The alarm clock goes off at about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, man.
And get ready. It takes a lot of time to get this hair together. But I get up to the station about 3 o'clock. And from that point, I kind of go over what's on the rundown for our show. We do 4.5 hours of news in the morning. We do 2.5 on 7 News Sunrise, KPLC, and then we turn around and do 2 more hours on KVHP, Fox 29. And so once we get all that done, 4:30, we're in the studio, or I'm in the studio to start the first half hour. And we read news for 4.5 hours.
And a little benefit of waking up that early, you get to have the rest of the day yourself. Huh?
You really do. I love the morning shift. Not everybody's a morning person,
right,
and I understand that. But it's irritating to me.
Right, but it comes with benefits because you get to go home early.
Well, yeah. And so you get a lot of stuff done in the afternoon. And even after we get off at 9, on some days we go out and do news stories, like I do the weekly Hometown Hero segment that salutes veterans and people who do good things for the community. So that's something to take care of. A lot of times we go visit schools and speak to events, do things like this. Yesterday we were at the Special Olympics at McNeese, and they always ask us to MC events each year. So it's a fun job. And again, you get to get out and meet the community. You're not locked down on a desk.
Absolutely, that's great.
Yeah.
You've been in the station for a long time.
33 years.
33 years. How is a paycheck in the local TV industry?
It can vary. You don't get into this business to get rich.
Right.
You see the stars on the Today Show and the national networks, and this has even changed over the last couple of years. You're not going to see these multi-million-dollar contracts making a lot of money. On the local level, you start at our TV station, and most TV stations that are owned by Gray Media, which is our owner, at about $15 an hour. Now that's the bottom level position, you're just starting.
Right.
But the salaries in television can range anywhere from $15 an hour to average of $80,000 to $100,000 a year. The bigger markets pay a little bit more, but these $1 million salaries that you hear from networks and things like that, that's one in a few, you know.
Right, right. This may be a hard pick for you, but what's your favorite story that you've covered?
It is hard. I've been asked that before,
Many
and
times.
I mean, over 33 years in television, 50 years in broadcasting.
You went over a lot of stories.
It's hard. Yeah, it's a lot of
I know.
stories, and then you forget about some. You know,
Right. That too.
I've got to say that the travel stories that I've done, I've been blessed to be able to go to Norway and
Yeah.
cover the christening of a gas oil platform in the North Sea. I went to Cuba, which not very many people get to go to Cuba anymore with the communist regime, and went there and covered the port of Lake Charles, trying to open up rice trade in Cuba. Was able to travel to Ireland, London, Canada, all on the station's dime. And I would never have gotten to afford to go to that many countries on my salary. I mean, not that I'm paid pennies, but at the same time, who can afford to travel that many countries? But because I was in television and in broadcasting, I got to go to those countries and enjoy it. On the local level, there are so many stories that have been told that I can't even begin to choose one. I do a series called Hometown Hero, honoring veterans. And the day that I got to interview a World War II vet who was on the first wave of the Normandy invasion has got to be a highlight. He described to me exactly what you see in the movie Saving Private Ryan. Blood in the water, people walking out of these Higgins boats and immediately getting mowed down, sinking in the water, watching your buddies that you've trained with just be gone in a few seconds. And he was crying when he was telling us this. Everyone in the room was bawling. He had us all in tears. Even my photographer, Bobby Wall, who was the late Bobby Wall, was a grizzled, you know, hard to get emotional type guy, was in tears during this interview. And it was just an honor to be able to sit next to a guy who went through that much. You realize that this is history that comes alive in front of your very eyes by talking to somebody who lived it. And that is probably the most valuable part of my job.
Absolutely. That is beautiful. Great
I love
answer.
that.
With everything that's happened in our area in recent years, from hurricanes to floods, what has it been like to work through all of this in recent times?
It's worn me out. I mean, and it's just like everybody else going through the same thing. I've never evacuated from a hurricane, so I don't know what that's like. Whenever there's a storm that's heading our way, I know that I'm not evacuating. In a way, I kind of go, I don't have to fight the traffic. But at the same time, I've been here in the middle of a storm. Not saying that to brag, I'd rather not, but that's your job. And so the hurricanes were just a 1-2 punch with Delta and Laura. I thought Rita was our big storm for the lifetime. And then here comes Laura and Delta, 15, 14 years later. The COVID pandemic changed things tremendously for all of us.
Do you have any idea how much longer you plan on working in this industry?
Well, like I said, I've been in the business now. It'll be 50 years in May. I've been at KPLC for 33 years. I think I've decided June 30th is the day I'll retire from KPLC.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm not going to quit working. I don't have a job lined up after that. I plan to retire.
Right, but you still plan on being active.
But I plan on being active.
Right.
I'm going to stay active with the McNeese radio station and help there. You might find me serving meals at Abraham's Tent one day with Miss Pearl, and I may go over to the Salvation Army and help one day, or I may go work at the church. I just want to stay busy, but not wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning anymore.
I feel that, trust me. So every episode of Teen Talk, we do a rapid fire question segment.
Uh-oh, okay.
With some lighthearted questions, you down?
I'm down for it. Let's go.
What makes you laugh until you cry?
Laugh until you cry. I guess it's, God, that's
basically anything that happens on the news.
Anything, anything's funny that's fun. A lot of times we'll run sound bites from people that the words come out wrong, or they'll mispronounce certain words, and it kind of makes me chuckle. I don't want to make fun of them and try not to. There have also been cases where people think I'm thinking one thing, but inside I'm thinking the other. You know, like there was a time whenever one of the mayors of the area broke protocol and tried to get on our interview segment, and I told him no. Because it didn't qualify. Well, he went around me and went to our general manager and said, I want to be on the air to present him with a coin or a presentation. Well, when he did, I was furious inside that he had went around me to do this just to get publicity. But somebody watched at home and said, you must have been so moved when you got that award. And inside it was like, I don't know. But so that happens. Yeah.
Absolutely. What's your favorite local restaurant that you like to eat?
Favorite local restaurant? I could get in trouble, you know, at several, but I'd say any seafood restaurant. Pat's of Henderson. I like what is it? Seafood Palace now on Enterprise Boulevard. They got
so you love seafood?
Killer gumbo. I love seafood. Steamboat Bills, can't go wrong there, you know. Absolutely. But any place in Sulphur, Hayes, I don't really have a favorite.
So I want to know your genre of music. What's your favorite music artist out there?
That's hard to pin down. I guess you would say my music collection is eclectic. You know, if you checked my iPod, it's got a little bit of country, mostly classic rock and roll from the 60s, 70s, 80s. I also like a lot of current stuff. You want me to name artists? I guess I have to say my favorite group is the Eagles right now. You know, that will vary from time to time depending on my mood. Yeah. And then I like orchestra music. I love the Boston Pops and things like that. So trying to pin me down on a favorite is kind of hard, but I guess I'd say classic rock and roll.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Well, Mr. Bridges, what is one piece of advice that you would give to teenagers today? I
would say, and thank you for asking that, I would say always be polite to people. You know, it's hard these days. There's a lot of, you know, people that aren't nice out there. And there's a lot of people trying to tear you down and attack you because they're unhappy. And they try to project that onto you. And I would say just be as polite as you can to people. Listen and learn. You know, if you're polite, that kind of knocks things down. You're on the phone trying to get your cable fixed or your internet fixed, and there's somebody, you know, that you can barely understand, and you're getting frustrated. And you're tired of talking to them for 45 minutes. But words that are negative don't get you anywhere. They will get you nowhere. So, and I'm saying this so I can hear it again and reassure myself. If you stay polite and you keep the high road, you'll get a lot done.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, on behalf of CPSB-TV, we want to say thank you to all that you've said, all that you've done, and all the local media who helps us, keeps us informed. Thank you for being our guest today. I'm so happy to meet you.
Thank you, Lavontai. It's good meeting you and hearing your story that you grew up watching sunrise makes my heart go like that because I think we're starting to lose our contact with news.
Yeah, man.
And if you stay informed, you'll stay smart.
That's right. Thank you for watching this edition of CPSB-TV, and we'll see you next time.